Last knockdown of the evening. Down comes the wall.
You know, Fernando Vargas was born, raised, educated, trained in Oxnard, California, fought for the U.S. in the Olympics, but he feels very powerfully about his heritage as a Mexican. That's why he chose the Mexican national anthem. That's why he chose this entrance.
One of the youngest professional champions ever. 20 fights, 20 wins, 18 knockouts, decisions against Winky Wright in his toughest battle and his weakest moment, Ike Quartey in his most brilliant performance, and KOs against all the other opponents. Fernando Vargas is in the ring. The chant of Tito, Tito builds in earnest as the Puerto Rican contingent waits for their superstar to emerge.
After all these years and all these fights, Jim, I still occasionally get chills at this walk-in, which is so distinct.
And the record for Felix Tito Trinidad, well known to most boxing followers. 38 wins, no losses, no draws, 31 spectacular knockouts for Tito. And now let's go to ring announcer.
Any questions? 12 rounds. Obey my commands. Let's go to work. Let's go.
Those picking Trinidad are going with the logic of a sensational performer with an impeccable record. Those picking Vargas are going with a gut feeling about his toughness. A young man with the look of a champion. Your head or your gut, which one is right?
Trinidad can only go to the well so many times. Getting knocked down early is just, you can't just get up all the time. He better protect himself.
6 different times in his career, Trinidad has been down in the early rounds. All 6 times he got up to win. Vargas lands a left jab against an off-balance Trinidad to start off the action. The younger fighter stepping out to jab. Go ahead, George.
That's what you want to do. You got to show Trinidad, first of all, I'm not afraid of you. Then you got to back it up, though.
Big left hook by Trinidad, and Vargas is stunned. Vargas is stunned and down.
And you know how stunned he is? Because he didn't take the full count. He got up too quickly.
Sensational left hook.
Trinidad can't go to the well. He's not playing around now.
Second knockdown for Trinidad. He's the one who said it would be a quick, dominant knockout performance. This is not what any expert expected.
Okay.
But this is what Felix said he'd do. No 3 knockdown rule in effect. Vargas attempts to grab and hold. 23 punches out of 57 to 19 out of 29 for Trinidad in round number 3. Harold, how'd you score the first 3 rounds?
Okay, Jim, 29-26, 2 rounds to 1, Tito Trinidad. You gotta give him 2 extra points. And down goes Tito on a big left hook.
Well, Harold, whatever the score of the fight was before, it just changed.
Here comes Trinidad to try to follow up. Check it, Vargas to try to follow up.
Well, Vargas has said that if he got Trinidad in trouble, he wasn't going to let him off the hook. He got another low blow.
Second foul of the fight for Trinidad, and we'll see if Nady will take a point away. A point deduction could be critical, and it is.
And right now, Jim, it's a 3-point round for Vargas, which equals.
Hey, Jim, I absolutely agree with you on that power towards the end of the fight. 6-4, 1 even, 103, 100. Felix Tito Trinidad. Jim, there's no question, out of the last 4 rounds, Tito Trinidad has released 3.
Down goes Vargas on a big left hook. And up he gets in 2 seconds. And now it's abundantly clear. Fernando Vargas must score a knockout or he's lost this fight. Down goes Fernando again.
3, 4, 5.
He's seriously hurt. He doesn't have his wits about him. He is reacting simply from instinct and courage.
He's out of it. He can't see Trinidad.
He's about to get knocked out. Barring a miracle here, it's going to be a closing knockout for Tito. Fernando trying to survive. Fires a couple of punches. And holds on like a skilled veteran.
He's a veteran.
And that'll do it. The third right hand, the third knockdown of the round. A huge victory for Tito Trinidad.
He closes the show like the champion he is. What a fight.
What a fight.
Up a few times, and he was still effective.
Let's take a look at the 3 knockdowns in the 12th round with which Trinidad finished Vargas and finished the fight. Knockdown number 1. Another brilliant left hook. Typical of so many that Trinidad had landed throughout the fight. Typical of the left hooks with which he began all this in creating 2 knockdowns back in round number 1. A third look at another perfect left-hand shot on the button by Felix Trinidad. And then seconds later, the second knockdown, and the one that made it clear that Vargas would need a near miracle just to finish the fight. Another clean shot with the left hook for Trinidad. And then finally, the third knockdown, almost an anticlimax at that point, as a wobbly Vargas simply could not muster the skill and the will to stay afoot against Trinidad's assault. And a merciful Jay Nady not bothering to count, but rather stepping in to end the onslaught and spare the brilliant young talent any further punishment at the hands of the devastating Trinidad. 39th win of Felix Trinidad's career.